Hey, how's it going? Mr. Deadman of Hard Talk Radio. I guess I should say Ginger Deadman still, since I failed that hard trivia. Not gonna let that one down. Anyway, let's talk the Babysitter Killer Queen. Is it a killer queen? Is it? I liked the first one. I did. The Babysitter is a fun, silly horror comedy. Very simple premise. Essentially, Home Alone, but with a maniac, murderous, satanic cult that wants virgin blood. The characters were silly, were over the top, caricatures and outrageous. The way they died was pathetic, but absurd and hilarious. And it was all contained. You know, it's all contained and very focused. That's the first one. The second one, Killer Queen, it's not contained. It's not focused at all. There's no focus. In fact, it's like it has ADHD. It doesn't know what it wants to be. One side wants to be like not another teen movie sort of comedy. Like, it's funny, but it's not. It's weird because it's like, wait, is this supposed to be a horror comedy or just a comedy? Because it reaches a level to where it's like, this is no longer a horror comedy. This is just, I don't know what it is. It's like a mishmash of like American Pie stuff with some gutting, disembowelment, and you know, someone getting chopped up by a speedboat, things like that. Gruesome, okay, very bloody. But I don't know. It just did not seem very focused. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that, right? Let me know in the comment section how you feel. Let me know how you feel about this movie, The Babysitter Killer Queen, especially if you like the first one. Now, overall, is it a horrible movie? It's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing out there. When you got Hubie Dubé, whatever, Hubie's Halloween out there, this is by far not the worst thing. When you have the Craft Legacy out there, this is by far not the worst thing. It can be a fun watch. It is funny. But it's not The Babysitter. It's not a sequel. It's not, like, what I mean is, the first one was funny because the characters were absurd. Yes. The way they died was absurd. Yes. The humor elements all kind of seemed important to the story. It seemed, the little story that was there, but it seemed like it all kind of made sense of why it was there. There's stuff in this one, and Babysitter Killer Queen, is like, what is going on here? It seems so absurd. It could have just, it's like two different storylines, two different movies, just kind of like put together. Whatever. I mean, the gore is great. The gore's fantastic. When the ridiculous murder satanic cult guys come in, they're just as ridiculous as they were in the first movie. They cranked that up to 11, which is great. They're the best part of the movie. No shirt guy, the cheerleader, the black dude, they're the best parts of the movie. The worst part of the movie is the dad, and then the stoner dad. Like, what is that? What's going on there? Like, it goes from like a horror comedy thing to just, like I said, a flat out teen comedy from the 90s. And this movie does seem very 90s, which I kind of like. I do like that. As someone who's born a product of the 90s, I like that this movie, in the face of social justice warriors or whatever, everyone being afraid to make any sort of jokes, was willing to go with, fat jokes, willing to go with, I mean, they went there, at some certain parts. That's cool. All right, fine. It shows that, people aren't afraid. At least they have these jokes and laugh and be entertained by it. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the takeaway of it all, is it a good movie? Man, I'm a guy who likes campy horror. I do love campy horror. If this was a campy horror, I'd let it slide. It's not even a campy horror film. It's not even a horror film. It's like slapstick, retarded 90s comedy with some gore and piss scenes. I mean, there's setups for jokes that really have no point to be there other than just a joke. Like, just set something up like you would like in like they did in American Pie or Not Another Teen Movie, where they're just like set it up just for a gag. Okay, but it's so absurd. Little things like pee jokes and shit, like pee in the face. You could skip this movie. Just skip it. Just skip it. If you're gonna watch it, you better have a 6-pack, and you better have 3 of those guys in you already. Sounded wrong. Don't take that out of context. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think about The Babysitter Killer Queen. Like I said, I like the first one, but the second one, not a fan. Not a fan. Good thing it didn't cost anything to watch it. I mean, I guess technically it did with the Netflix subscription, but I mean, it cost my time. And it was a waste of time. Man. Anyway, you have a good one. Y'all take it easy.